being a filmmaker and a film fan yourself, just look at Wag the Dog. They show you right there how to stage a false flag attack. And it's kind of crazy that that movie comes off as a comedy, and, none of these guys seem all that nefarious, but that movie has, it's a way more enlightening film just in the past 5 years. When you look at the events, you're like, wow, that's the template right there.
Oh, and I would point out that Dustin Hoffman played a film producer named Stanley who faked the event, and then he dies.
Yeah, it all seems to connect. The elite are so calculating, and they seem to be following a script. They've definitely got these plans that have been going on forever. And one scary blip on the conspiracy radar recently was this update to the Georgia Guidestones. Have you seen that?
Well, I have, and I want to talk about that because that goes right in with everything else that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, first off, we don't know when, but at some point, someone got up on a ladder and cut a little niche into the English-speaking stone of the Georgia Guidestones. Now, I filmed at the Georgia Guidestones in 2005 and 2006, and I went back for the History Channel in 2008, and the niche wasn't there. I've got my photographs. So sometime after 2010, this niche, and you can't cut a niche into limestone without making a lot of noise. So this niche gets cut into the limestone of the English-speaking side, and interestingly enough, there's a camera there, so we should be able to go back and see who cut the niche. Anyway, I didn't know the niche was cut, but suddenly in August, late August this year, somebody, again with a ladder, went up there and stuck a stone that had been carved perfectly to fit the niche. And on the stone it said 2014. Mm-hmm. Now, again, we should know who did this act of vandalism, right? Because there's a camera there.
You would think.
So, yeah, well, of course, you have to. And I'm sure the authorities and the police are, searching to find out who this person that did this is. I'm sure they're going through every single photograph and video that they've got. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so this stone is up there, and it causes a huge sensation. I mean, everybody's freaking out because it does feel like they're about to do the culling or kill off, 6.5 million people and leave a world of 500 million.
Right.
And the world does feel like that right now. It feels like something is about to happen, something big. And I think everybody feels it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so last Saturday, they decided to take the stone down. Somebody did. There's a YouTube, and thank goodness the woman was there getting it on her cell phone camera. We may have never seen this. So there's a state trooper there, so that's proof that they're definitely concerned and they're investigating. And there's a gentleman in a red shirt who says that he's been hired to, keep the Guidestones intact, and you got to wonder who's paying him, if he is getting paid at all. Anyway, he has a big, huge ladder, and he crawls up and he pulls the stone off the niche, and he brings it down. And the woman, fortunately, cell phone camera in hand, gets all the stone. We find out that there's not just 2 messages on the 6-sided stone. There's 6 messages, 1 on each side. Get the stone right in front of the state trooper. Now, I know that state trooper is going to confiscate that stone as evidence for the vandalism that he's investigating. So I'm waiting to grab that stone and carefully put it in a towel and take it back so we can see where it was carved, because you can start tracing and do forensics on it, right?
True.
Now that's not what happened. What happened was the guy with the red shirt, who is very, very good mason, I might add, takes his masonry chisel and within about 10 seconds or 15 seconds breaks up the entire stone. But fortunately, we got the cell phone camera footage, and it's been uploaded. Mm-hmm. So we have 6 sides. We got 20 and we got 14. Then we've got the word jam. Then we've got MM. And then we've got a 16 and an 8. All right? That's what we have on this stone that was carefully carved and inserted into the niche, which appeared somehow. Mm-hmm. Okay, what does this mean?
Right.
Well, what it means is this. A MM means master mason. That's the signature of the guy who made the little stone. Okay?
Okay.
Jam is a Masonic term for placing a stone into a niche. Okay? It's what he did. He jammed it.
All right.
He put the stone in the niche, and he signed it with MM. So those two are the act and his signature. So they're really not all that important. But the numbers are really important. So the numbers are 8, 14, 16, and 20. So what does it mean? Well, 814 is the month and the year that the niche stone was put in place. That explains that.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2016 is now that are the most mysterious. So what is this saying? Well, that the niche stone has been placed right next to the 500 million number in English is a very significant thing. And so what does it mean? Well, in my opinion, the Master Mason has told us the time period of the culling. How long this period is going to be until they hit their goal of 500 million. I can think of no other reason for doing this entire thing. And I know, and I think you probably do know also, that this group believes that if they tell people ahead of time what they're doing, they are somehow now karmically free of the damage that's about to be done. In other words, it's up to us to see what they're saying to us and to take matters into our own hands.
Right, yeah.
They're giving us that one out. And they do that all the time. Every single event they do, they foretell us, whether it's the Lone Gunman show that was broadcast in April 2001, telling us about what was going to happen in September 2001, or any number of things. So Sandy Hook in the Batman film on the map. So we know they do this. And so they have done it. And they've done the ultimate. And they've told us. And I think your listeners should consider what I'm telling them very soberly, because somebody went to a great degree of expense and trouble to put that stone there. And that stone is now gone. And I believe that the person who built the Georgia Guidestones is the person who built that little odd niche stone.
Right.
And he is the Master Mason. And he is giving us for those who are aware and for those who pay attention, he's giving us a very, very, very important piece of data.
Man, that's fascinating. I really didn't know that about the other sides of the stone. And I wonder if we were even supposed to know, or I wonder if...
I don't think we were. I think this woman who got the cell phone footage, she just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And they took that stone apart so fast, I mean, it wasn't even funny.
Well, that's when you were telling me that story, there were a couple of things that raised my eyebrows. I'm like, I wonder if this is stage 2. I wonder if if the whole breaking down of the stone was just some type of, actors playing out for the YouTube video that they were going to upload later and to put it out that way. It's tough to say, but I mean, things get so hairy in this area that you just don't know what's to believe anymore.
Well, I would believe you on that, except that does not explain why. Listen, they cut that niche into the stone, into the slab at some point. That's huge.
Yeah.
Can't begin to say how huge that is. It had to be pre-planned. And again, just because we have the Lone Gunman series featuring the airplanes being directed by the Pentagon into the Twin Towers, and just because there are actors involved in these events doesn't mean that there isn't still a message. And what I believe is that, I'm just going to tell you what I believe.
Sure.
2008, I think it was 2008, I may be wrong on that. There was a meeting in New York called, and it was Oprah, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Ted Turner, and a bunch of luminaries got called into this secret meeting. And according to the rumors on the internet, they were told that the depopulation plan was, Oprah was there too, that the depopulation plan was about to begin. Supposed to the rumors, Oprah got very upset at this news, and they kind of were, kind of patting her on the shoulder. Oh, you're so sensitive, Oprah, and Ted Turner was there.
Mm.
He's one of the richest guys in Georgia, and he's also a Mason. And when I was doing my film 2012, The Odyssey, which came out in 2006, which was the first major media piece on the Georgia Guidestones, I interviewed the editor of the local newspaper, Elberton, Georgia newspaper. And he told me that the Guidestones were built by Masons. Now, that was the first time that anyone had ever connected the Masons to the Guidestones. So, I believe that Ted Turner is R.C. Christian and that he built the Georgia Guidestones. Now, for many, many reasons do I believe it. First off, he's from Georgia. The Georgia Guidestones are in the highest place in Georgia. But he's also been a depopulation guy for years, encouraging depopulation and saying there's too many people, and a super environmentalist and all that. And I believe that he got word that the event was starting, and he made the stone and put it up there.
Yeah, that is a super compelling narrative. It makes a lot of sense. It's very scary that would show up on the English-speaking side. I wonder if similar stones will show up on the slabs of the other cultures.
Well, there's no niches in those stones.
Yeah, that's something to watch for.
Yeah, the niche appears.
Look at that.
Your life. Why can't another stone go up on that niche?
Yeah. Man, that's a fascinating narrative that I haven't heard anywhere else yet, and I think it makes so much sense. Definitely not what I planned to start this thing with.